I'm just coming back to you with another SaaS product that I'm going to currently review, but just to point out a couple of things about guided walkthrough and what they can provide you with. It's a good way of actually, from a SaaS provider point of view, it's a good way to give your trial accounts these guided walkthroughs, and basically what they'll do is they'll take your trial account users through the latest and greatest features, and I'm talking features that kind of set you apart from the rest of the other SaaS providers out there, because there's quite a few SaaS providers, and you want to kind of differentiate yourself. This is a great way for your trial accounts to actually have the ability to be guided through your software, and along the way you're giving them tips and help and assistance, and you can also put a link in there, say I want to buy now, various things that we can do with these guided walkthroughs. And when we create them, you can also have the ability to create your own guided walkthroughs. We get you set up for an account. Now the accounts are basically guide based, okay? So if you have one guide or 100 or 500 guides even, there's a price difference between those, but it's very much very affordable, and there's no user limit whatsoever. So you could have one user or a million users, it doesn't matter. You say that pay the same price as a per guide base. But again, give me a shout, give me an email, and I can talk you through that, and we can set up a demo and show you how easy it is to create guides if that's of interest to you. So it's a good marketing tool for SaaS providers. It helps your users be directed, and also as well it could be an earner for you, in the sense that we could sell these guides on, or put these guides in place at one of your customers' sites as well. So if they like the guides, they say, hey, a great software, and they get the software and say, well, hang on a second, where's the guides? We could do the guides, and again, we could come to some arrangement. You have to give me a shout and we'll go through that. So the next guide, that we're going to go through is a SaaS product called PractiTest. Now, PractiTest is a test management software. As you can see here, we got requirements, test library, test sets and runs, and of course issues or defects, incidents, whatever you want to call it. So first thing we want to do for PractiTest is I'm going to take you through a guide called Create a Test Script. Okay, and the first thing we want to click on, as you can see here, it's hovering over saying, okay, where do you want to go? What's the first step this user is going to do? It's going to go to Test Library. Now, Test Library, as you can see here, it says click on Test Library, and then of course it's going to ask you, the first thing it's going to ask you, describe the step. Yeah, click on Test Library. It's quite self-sufficient when it's a click or hyperlink, and then it's going to ask you where the placement goes. Now what I like to do with these over here, these little bubbles, is I like to tell it, you can see that's changed to the right of Test Library, that's gone underneath to the right, that's gone underneath to the middle. I like to try and keep it to where this speech bubble, if you like, does not cover up anything on the screen, that when the user's not using the guide, they're not surprised to see another field there or something they missed, or something that might be important. So I like to try and keep everything as visible as possible. So I can also tell it, when will this step complete? When the user clicks the next button, or when they actually click on the element or the hyperlink, or when they hover over something, or when they change the URL, or when they start typing text. I can also put in some additional help text that will appear. So additional help text. As you can see, it starts appearing, and when I can spell, additional help text. Right. So you can see here I got 130 characters left. And is this step optional? Yes or no? Okay. So that's pretty much all we need to know of that, and we'll say no, or yes, it is. It's not optional. So we add step. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do what it says. Click on test library. Yep. So remember, we're creating a guide here. Okay. So this is actually creating the guide. So the next step, I want to add a step. I want to click on new test. Now I could ask them to do this drop down box. Okay. I can show you that on another one. We'll keep this simple. So new test. Click on new test. Where do you want it to appear? I think for this one, I might change it and say appear over there. Or let's just check. Have I hidden anything? Go to test. Okay. For this one, no. So I'll go ahead and hide that. Now they'll see it when they go to the next step. It will appear. Okay. So click on new test. So I'll go ahead and do that. Step 2. Step 3, add a step. I want to put some text in here. Enter test script name. Okay, you can call that what you like. And again, looking at this to say, is that the best place for that? Seems to be. And again, now it's saying to me here on typing text. Now I want to select the next button because as soon as that user starts typing text, the next speech bubble will appear. So we don't want to confuse them or, or cause any sort of issues. So I'm just going to keep it on, click on next. And we'll go ahead and we'll add test script. As you can see, I've done this a bit. So test script 4, that's been used. Test script 5, that hasn't been used. Okay, so I'll go ahead and close that for now. Next step. So what do I want it to do? I want it to go to description. So click on description. Text box, for instance, okay, and enter in the description. It's good enough, okay. And again, it's going above the box, so the user's already been to that part of the screen. So what do we want it to do? Click on the next button. It says the last choice, if you like. Unless it's a hyperlink, then it will choose the hyperlink. So we'll close that. We'll say testing with creating a guide, for instance, right? Next step, status. We could say status. We could go folder, tags, okay. Default's draft, and I would say that most test scripts, the draft is the first port of call because you're just putting the scripts together. You're going to run these by the business and say, do these kind of meet the test? Is this what you want to test for? No, we want to tweak it. Yes, that does. Okay, and then we'd switch that status to ready. Okay, as you can see here, there. If we go ahead and set that, select test script status. Okay, so again, see, it's gone above. I would not do that. I would probably go below, but it's not allowing me to do that. But hey, it's just covered up the text, so not too big of a biggie. Click on selected element. Okay, so the next step will appear when you click on the next selected element. I'll leave that so you can actually see what that kind of looks like. So as soon as you click on this, it goes away. So see, you got draft ready to repair. So if you run the test script and it was broken, you can set all your test scripts to ready to repair or obsolete if you're not running that test script for a certain phase or whatever. So there's various other things on here as well, like you could put attachments if you want to attach a data sheet to say use this data. Now what we're going to do for this is quite a simple one. Okay, we haven't put any steps on there or traceability or anything. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm actually just going to go right to save the changes. Okay, So click on Save Changes and then selected element, see? So it's a hyperlink. So I'll add the step. You can change the color of these speech bubbles as well. Like I said, you could put the extra text on, you know, whatever you want to do. So Save Changes, we'll click on that. Please wait. Done. All done. So test script 5. So what we may do on this is we might just send the users back to the dashboard just so you can see. So click on dashboard, add the step. You know, we're pretty much on a roll now. So you can see it doesn't really kind of take that long to do this. You know, we've done it under sort of just under time I've waffled on, about 7 minutes. We've created a very simple guide that just kind of goes through. So we'll click on dashboard and there we go. That dashboard always comes up. Bang. So that's done. And then you can see down here that we've got loads more of the dashboard that we could go through, and then we could potentially go back to test library if we wanted to, and now we can see test script 5, right? All done and dusted. So test script 5 is already done, and it'll also count the steps as well, so as you add steps to it. So that's pretty much it for this guide. Now I'll do another one after this that will basically take you through what the user actually sees. So when they run this guide, when the user is going to run this guide, they're going to see a certain tab here on the side that says self-help. They'll pull that out, and then it will be our create test script. And then when the user runs that, you will see, I'll actually run it and you'll see what the user sees, and we'll create another test script. Okay, so thanks for listening. Cheers and bye.